and death. Anyone? It was a very recent news. 15 days back, Khaleej Times had this heading. Maybe that's a clue.
Global warming.
Yeah, excellent. Give yourself a round of applause, please. Who said global warming? Yeah, excellent, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, because this is something which, is, if you have read that news, you know that half the thing what I'm going to say is really how important it is and why we should now act. It's no more time for thinking, it's a time to act now. Yeah. So to give a little brief about this, what is this 1 degree between life and death? So I'll be presenting you what is meant by the average global temperature before pre-industrial times. Because many times people say this, average global temperature before pre-industrial times, but what it is? What is that? What's the value? Many people are not knowing this because when I discuss with people, I understand that, that's why I'm saying. So it is an average of the temperature, what was the average global temperature between 1951 to 1980. That is this average global temperature. So it is supposed to be around 14 degrees when they measured. And this is a figure from NASA Goddard Institute of Space, a very reliable information. And as per 2000 agreement, there was the conglomeration of the people in the COP16 where they said that we will try to only go up to 2 degrees Celsius more than this temperature as the global warming parameter for this century. That means until 2100, because it's a very, already we are in a rising figure, so that's why, because after 2009 already this has reached to 14.6, something like that. So they said that this is going up very fast, so we need to curtail this and let's make it like somewhere between 1.5 to 2 degrees like this. Yeah. But then again the steepness did not decrease actually, again by our actions. As you know that IPCC always says that global warming is the result of human beings' activities, right or wrong? How many of you know that? Yeah, that's good. So it is because of our activities that we are creating more and more global warming. And so in the 2015, when the Paris Agreement COP21 took place, they said that no more of even 2 degrees, let's make it 1.5. Or let it be between 1.5 and 2, like that a flexible figure was given. But then on 7th of October, when they met in South Korea, Incheon, 15 days back, they said that no, the temperature is still going very high. We are going in a very exponential rate and we have already touched 14.9. That means between 1980 and now, we have gone nearly 1 degree. That means there is room for now just 0.6 degrees from now to the end of this century. That is what is the challenging target. So do you realize, ladies and gentlemen, that now it's the time for us to act or not?
The time to act.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so, and one more warning, what they have said is that the IPCC, if we go by the present rate without taking any action, by 2030 itself we will reach this 1.5. And what will happen if it exceeds that? Even this morning I was told that if it even goes to 2 degrees, the damage that will happen to the environment, the ecosystem, will be double of what it will happen if it goes only up to 1.5. So this is the picture. For you to appreciate that why we say that it is exponentially increasing. As you can see that zero figure, the zero level, is somewhere between 1940 to 1980. It has been there like that. If you consider that as a baseline, which is zero, you can see the exponential increase of around 0.9 degrees that has reached in 2017. Okay, so this is the way we are going. So it is high time that we need to curtail ourselves and do whatever it is possible to reduce the energy consumption especially because the energy is coming from fossil fuel, as you know, so that is carbonization. So the slogan of the day is decarbonization. Now I would like to just show you also an effect, because something when you see visually, you appreciate it better than me talking 1,000 words to you. See this, how the glaciers are melting, something like, here we are familiar with the sand, so when a sandstorm is there, how the sand is, falling down, that is the way the, can I have the video on please? Yeah, it just falls something like the sand actually giving way. This is one of the largest calving they have of the ice melting. They have filmed, and all this happened within a span of 75 minutes, you can see, and they will tell you also in the course of the video what is the amount of ice that has melted on that single day within 75 minutes. Yeah, volume please, yeah, thank you. So seeing is believing, gentlemen, this is what's happening. Glaciers which were there in place for thousands of years are now melting down like this. Look at that, it's just falling like a big skyscrapers falling down.
The cavern face is 300, sometimes 400 feet tall. Pieces of ice were shooting up out of the ocean 600 feet and then falling. Try to put it into scale with human references. If you imagine Manhattan, and all of a sudden, all of those buildings just start to rumble and quake and peel off and just fall over and roll around. This whole massive city just breaking apart in front of your eyes. We're just observers, these two little dots on the side of the mountain. And we watched and recorded the largest witness calving event ever caught on tape.
So how big was this calving event that we just looked at? We'll resort to some illustrations again to give you a sense of scale. It's as if the entire lower tip of Manhattan broke off, except that the thickness, the height of it, is equivalent to buildings that are 2.5 or 3 times higher than they are. That's a magical, miraculous, horrible, scary thing. I don't know that anybody's really seen the miracle and horror of that.
I want to see this last.
It took 100 years for it to retreat 8 miles from 1900 to 2000. From 2000 to 2010, it retreated 9 miles. So in 10 years, it retreated more than it had in the previous 100.
So we have done 10 years, the changes that happened over 100 years. This is the achievement what we have done, ladies and gentlemen, because of our activities. So just to give you an idea of what would happen like this if the global warming is continuing. So following places will be history. Cities like Shanghai, Tokyo, Osaka, Mumbai, coastal areas of India, America, Africa, Europe, You name any place, everywhere it's going to affect. 20 to 30% of the flora and fauna, that means the animals and the plant species, will be extinct if the average global temperature increases more than 2 degrees. That's what is the another story to take back home. Unexpected rains, floods, tsunamis, droughts, etc., which we are already witnessing in any country, you name it. There is one calamity or another we always see in the newspaper. This is also because of this. So that's why the countries which are most affected by this, they told in this Korean conference that we have 1 degree between the life and death. But ladies and gentlemen, the life is not like this. We are going to go forward. We are moving. Actually, there are 175 countries who have signed the agreement, and they are exceeding even the targets. This morning, in the World Green Energy Summit, which took place in the opposite hall, Her Excellency Christina Figueres, who is the former Secretary General of UNFCCC, she said that India is exceeding already their commitment which has been given in the Paris Agreement. That is, India is one of the largest countries in the world, and they have already exceeded. That means the amount of effort that the economies are taking, the large economies, even China has also almost, they are come close to the agreement figure. So these are the two largest economies in this world, and they have done their best already to meet the targets. That means it is now the smaller economies have to follow them. Okay, so the life is not that difficult as we thought, but every one of us should know this and take action. That's the only request. So UAE also, such a small nation, such a young nation, we are really gifted to live here, and this nation has set example. The tariff of 3 cents per kilowatt hour, which has been achieved by UAE, is something, a very great effort. And Her Excellency, when she said, I'm giving you a challenge now, UAE, that make it 1 cent by 2050.